Hey, it's Lowry Smith of the Commander Smiths here with a Card Kingdom order opening. Used mostly credit. Actually, had to dip into a little bit of my actual money. Unfortunately, I like to run solely off of credit. Um, just because I got a cards and can't always move them on a card sphere, so that's what we're working with. Uh, Commander Smiths is a podcast that records mostly every Monday night. We'll probably be doing Tuesday night with the Vikings playoff game this Monday. But we always have a reason to move it around anyway. So once a week, audio normally comes out on Wednesday. That's probably more, you know, consistent. And then yeah, we do a bunch of stuff here on YouTube and never on that other site that's about to be banned. Just kidding, but bitter, just bitter about that. All right, let's open these bad boys. So $150 worth of credit right there. Let's go with the big one first, and then we're going from there. A lot of it's probably just foundations and kind of getting some decks together. I just finished up Niv Mizzet Visionary and probably trying to buy some cards from there. Like, I say probably because it's been a little over a week and I don't remember everything for what I ordered. But let's take a look, eh? Let's see here. All right, we got Shiv and Gorge. We got the FTV foil. I always like these, even though they kind of curved heavier. They've kind of calmed down a little bit in their older age. But this goes in Niv Mizzet Visionary. Draw one, two, three cards when it hits your opponents. We have Culligan's Command with that ripple foil. I think it just looks gorgeous. I got a little bit of star, circle. I don't know. But those came in the modern Horizons 3 Commander foils. And some of those cards are really cheap. I'd go through and see what you can get. I got one. Thought I ordered two. Velacut Exploration foil. This was going to be in Niv Mizzet Visionary, but it has since been cut, unfortunately. But it's a cool card. Fang Dragon. This one goes into my Judith deck. Just dealing the one damage to everything, getting a foil version of it. Legion Loyalty foils have gone down dramatically. So I wanted one. It looks pretty. Pure Steel Paladin. Also, that has gone down dramatically with the Commander Masters or Commander. Yeah, that is Commander Masters, right? And then also it got like the Fallout reprinting, and so that has gone down a lot. And so I wanted to get myself at least one foil for Captain America since I'm using it. Altanak, the thrice called. I don't know what it is about this discard and have some type of effect happen, but I'm kind of into it and digging it right now. I'd blame that on Mr. Foxglove. This has potential to go in there, but I don't know. Cat Collector was kind of a cool card that I like from Foundations, but whenever a creature enters, create a food token. Whenever you gain life for the first time during each of your turns, create a 1/1 cat creature token. So it's 3 mana, 3/2. If you gain life, you create a 1/1, and whenever this creature enters, create a food. Okay. So, I mean, like, creates a food, potential to gain life, creating a 1/1, and then you just kinda continually make 1/1s. I like it as a little, aggressive cards or whatever. Goblin Negotiations deals X damage to target creature. Create a number of 1/1 red goblin creature tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to that creature this way. Thought that was a fun little thing. Would be fun if I had my Lucia Kane deck out there. But either way, it's pretty cool. Herald of Eternal Dawns, 6/6 flash, flying angel. You can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. I remember when Platinum Angel was out in 10th edition. That was like a $10 card. This foil was like 2 or 3. So things have changed in certain ways. Kaido Cunning Infiltrator. This one was $3 or $4. But whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a loyalty counter on it. If you got a go wide blue deck, I think this could just really fit in there. And then that -9 is you get an emblem with whenever a player casts a spell, you create a 2/1 blue. So you just go more wide. So That'd be sweet. But Perforating Artist from Foundations, 3/2 Death Touch. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices non-land permanent or discards a card. Um, so kind of going a lot there. I like it. I like it. You just gotta attack. It doesn't have to be with the artist here. But Anet Vizier of Hazaret, 4/2 trample. You may exert Anet as it attacks. When you do, exile the top 2 cards of your deck until end of your next turn. You may play those cards. I mean, that's not a bad deal. It's not a you got a 3 mana 4/2 trample that when you attack, you exert it. I think you want to exert it. I think people are probably going to want to block it because they don't want this to happen every other turn. But then you get 2 cards off of it. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it has a couple decks too, but it's not a bad deal, and it was cheap. Browless of Ferris Band. Power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control, and when it attacks, draw a card and can put a land from your hand into the battlefield. This might go in my Zimone and Dina deck. So I went through the Jumpstart Legends and kind of bought some of the cheaper ones. I can't even say this. I don't. Magic names are so hard. Whenever you cast your first enchantment spell, create a 2/2 at the beginning of each combat. If you control 5 or more enchantments, it gets +4/+4 lifelink until end of turn. So it again has a lot going on. Little creatures, a little bit of enchantress style going on. I don't know if that's going to be good enough, but it is what it is. Erd Nan Dramaka Warrior 1/1. It enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, maybe itself. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature with a 1/1 counter on it gains first strike until end of turn. If that creature has 2 or more, it gains double strike instead. I mean, it's doing a little bit for a little bit of cheap cards. All right. Some of the bigger stuff. Quilled, Great Worm foil, full art. Um, Mythic, 7/7 trample for 6. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage during your turn, put that many 1/1 counters on it, and you may cast this card from the graveyard if you remove 6 counters in addition to paying its other costs. I think I'm going to try and get this into the Wolverine deck. Making Wolverine bigger is pretty sweet. Valkyrie's Call. Whenever a non-token, non-angel creature you control dies, return it to the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it, and it's also an angel with flying. That's a cool card. Full art foil. I don't think it was that much. Under 4. How about that? Riptide Laboratory foil. I've been kind of playing some wizards. Riku likes this. Um, there's another deck I have, my blue white one. It has a wizard sub theme, so I picked up 2 foils in that regard. Aether Hub, I wanted a foil of this. I didn't have the Fire Knight Magic version of it, and it kept on being sold out. So this one was nice and cheap. Aetherworks Marvel, also get a pimp version of this, the Ripple foil. I think I got 2 of them. They're cool in your treasure, food, clue decks because you got a lot of stuff going that can create a lot of energy. So went with the Ripple foils there. Angel of Invention, very cool. I like it. Brawn. I mean, all the other ones are probably a little bit better. The Swamp Walk, I like the First Strike, but that's probably the cheapest. That's probably the worst one, right? Haste, Swamp Walk, and Flying are probably better. Forsaken Monument. I kind of wish I bought a second one now that I have my. I got Marvin and I have my Morph deck, and this it likes both those decks. So Gonti's Aether Heart, that's a Ripple foil as well. Just got some of that energy. They're real cheap right now, but they just kind of go in every energy deck almost. Hedron Archive. I got 2 ripples in that regard. We got a Hydroid Crassus for like $2, Ripple foil. They've been reprinting that a bunch, but that's okay. I got 2 of them. Oh, I got aggressive. I wish I was drinking to blame that on that. Ignoble Hierarch. I already had a couple foils. I probably shouldn't have bought this one. I'll admit, but it is what it is. There's that second Culligan's command. I thought I had 2 of them. Magnus of the Candelabra. Basically, I was just going for real cheap cards that I've at least thought about using. So that's 1, 2. Mirage Mirror, you know what I mean? Adam would probably be pretty happy with this. He used to play with this card all the time. I got 1 or 2 of them. Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, another kind of upgrade. Wish I had a second one now. Sire Stagnation. This has potential to kind of go up a bit. That reprint kind of killed the non foils, but this could recover. It's a sweet card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under opponent's control, that player exiles top two cards of their deck, and you draw two cards. Doing a lot of work for 6 mana. So Skittering Invasion. Just looking for kind of a foil version of this. Even though I was around for when this was originally printed, I didn't buy any foils. I didn't even like foils then. Look at me now. Tendo Ice Bridge foil. This was like 99 cents. Thespian Stage. This was maybe $2. Uvenwald Hydra. This used to be a $5 card. Now I'm getting a Ripple foil for $2. Now's a good time to get that. I think I got two. Yeah. Warping Whale, again, same thing, just getting some Eldrazi colorless spells for foil. It's not a bad deal. That might have been $2. Aether Refinery. I really like this card. It's not good enough to be in non-energy decks. And if energy ever gets to be good enough to have just like a sub theme, everything is foils nowadays. Yes, you're right, Parks. And that's, I mean, the Ripple foils, I really like it. I really like it. But Aether Refinery, if you like energy, I'd say pick yourself up one. Stone Idol Generator, another energy thing that can get you a 612. Pretty cool. Knight's Whisper has a little promo going out. I think this was about $2, but it is super pretty. I'm very happy with that. Old bordered foil. I think I got a little greedy with that. One, two, three. I got three of them. All right. They're very pretty. I use those in like every black deck. So, and then Pestilent Spirit foil. Been kind of eyeing this up for a year at this point because it's perfect in Judith. Just getting a foil version of it. We have Azoria Signet. I'm just using it a lot, and so I needed another one pimp out version. Gingerbread Cabin. Getting a foil of it for Yigra. There we go. I have one in my Tree Folk deck. But Fiery Islet Ripple foil as well. That was relatively cheap, probably like $3-4. Um, that'll be okay. That'll be good. And Sunbaked Canyon, a Ripple foil from the Doctor Who set. That one was like $5, and that'll go in Feather. And now I'm even thinking about getting rid of Feather. Unfortunately, it's been a long time coming. But and then we got a handful left here, so let's check out what we got. I probably jumped the gun here on a Hull Breaker horror that you can kind of see there. The Innistrad reprints, they got this, and obviously, of course they would have, but that looks gorgeous. But this is a Fallout alt art on it, and it looks pretty cool. I like it. I like it. I think this was probably one of the more expensive one. I want to say this was $10-12. So, but it's a beautiful card. I like it a lot. You got Rowan Scion of War. I got a Rowan deck, getting a foil version of it. I have like the alt art of it, but not foil. Old black borders are beautiful. Yeah, for sure. Totally agree. Shambling Ghast. I just like this little value engine here, but it's just not an engine, but it's just value on the death. So if it dies, you get target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, or creating a treasure. So it's just a cheap block that can die. Sacrifice outlet, more mana. Robe of the Archmagi. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw that many cards. Equip for 4 or 1 with a Shaman, Warlock, and Wizard. Again, I've been kind of doing a bunch of wizards, so this is I had one like this, and I damaged it in my Riku building where the whole thing of water fell on my stuff. So I wanted to pick up a few more, and I think I got 3. 1, 2, 3, and they are gorgeous. I'm very happy with that. We have Cerulean Drake, 1/1 flyer, pro red. You can sack it, counter target spell that targets you. This will go in my Rafine deck, just an upgrade with the foil. I got a couple of them. Skull Cage, artifact at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. It deals 2 damage to that player unless he or she exactly has 3 or 4 cards in hand. So just that's a really cool foil, actually. Shambling Ghast is great for deck fodder. Yeah. Small line ramp and really goes well with Greedy Freebooter too. Yeah, you know what? the thing that really turned me on to Shambling Ghast was, my Balrog deck that I just wanted to be able to sacrifice creatures, and then it creates a treasure that sacrifices and feeds into Balrog even more. It was a really nice little deal going on. So, um, yeah, Skull Cage going in a deck, Thought Courier, draw a card, discard a card. I really like this effect. Looting, I'm heavy into looting here in the last year or 2. I don't know why. Rona, Herald of the Invasion, 2 foils. Again, that is a loot that can turn into something else. The Suvin Shapeshifter. I already mentioned my Morph deck, so that'll go in there. Soul Herder, old bordered foil from Modern Horizons. It's gorgeous. I did not have a foil version of this card, and happy to have it now. Nettlecyst, another one that I have this in my Alayla deck and just finally getting an upgrade for it. A bit more expensive than I wanted. I think it was 3-4 bucks, but it'll look good in there. Isolation Cell. This is again for the Genku. Soul Herder. There's been a couple of cards. Skull Cage was in there. So all those are for Genku. It's kind of like a blue, white, blink, burn thing going on. So getting a foil version of that. Bonder's Enclave, one of my favorite lands. Just getting a few more foils in that. We have Incubation Druid. +1/+1 counter decks. This is an auto include. So I want to get. I think I have one foil. This will be my second one. Hall of Oracles, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, activate only if a sorcery, and if as a sorcery, and only if you've cast an instant or sorcery this turn, goes in my Riku deck. And then Savvy Hunter, foil, sacrifice 2 foods, draw a card, perfect in Yigra. Just wanted a foil version in that deck. Hey, that's it. That is everything. That is plenty going on. Again, I'm using a bunch of credit from Card Kingdom. I send in the stuff and it works pretty well. Not sponsored. They don't care about us one bit. But at this point, we're maybe going to start looking around at other sites. If anybody has suggestions on where they like sending in credit and getting cards from, I'm more than willing to listen. Write it in the comments or email or join the Discord. Um, and then we can start checking out other places just because Adam will probably get to it on the podcast at some point. So, otherwise, have a good night. Have a good weekend. Bye.